Sri Lanka is currently experiencing its worst economic crisis since its independence. No industry has remained untouched by this crunch. An estimate from Johns Hopkins University shows real inflation at over 130% in March. Experts say that everything in the country is in short supply, especially imported goods. The government is asking airlines to halt refueling to save on fuel costs. The tea industry is one of the most critical industries in the country's GDP and is currently facing a double whammy, a situation that is projected to adversely affect the income of the farmers and further increase the cost of living. The situation has grown to unprecedented scales, forcing people to hold one of the most historic demonstrations and protests across the country, demanding the resignation of the president Gotabaya Rajapakasa over failure to deal with the crisis.
Leave the country. You can't govern this country properly. We have children. We are on the streets leaving our jobs because we believe in the cause. We love the country. We love our children. We are suffering.
Some of the causes which have contributed to the economic crisis include the corona-induced slump in tourism as well as a political mistake whereby the government banned the importation of artificial fertilizers that has crippled the agricultural sector and industry that employs many people in Sri Lanka. Smaller demonstrations held earlier this year had little impact. Now the frustration appears to have turned into a movement that can no longer be ignored. Recently, the protesters stormed the president's official residence in Sri Lanka's capital, Colombo, after clashing with police and breaking through police cordons. Police officers tried to lob tear gas at the protesters to prevent them from reaching the presidential palace in Colombo, but to no avail. The president was, however, moved by his security to an undisclosed location following the nationwide protest. The presidential pool, once reserved for the country's most powerful man, was transformed to a community pool. The 73-year-old president was elected in 2019. Analysts have said that it's only a matter of time before he's forced to step down. As soon as the resignation is announced, the prime minister is expected to take over as the acting president.
He instructed me to tell the country that he will resign on Wednesday, July 13th to ensure a peaceful handover of power. There's therefore no need to destabilize the country any longer.
Anger continues to mount as access to food, water, medicine, and fuel is limited. The government has currently run out of foreign currency, a situation that is likely to escalate the already high costs of living. A meeting was recently convened by party leaders and the discussion revolved around the stepping down of the president alongside the prime minister. This follows a nationwide protest over the resignation of not only the president but also the prime minister. The prime minister, however, made a statement that he was only willing to step down if a national government is put in place to ensure the stability of the country. Leaders are therefore expected to discuss the formation of a national government that will take on the wheels of leadership in the country. Currently, 500,000 people are falling into poverty. Sri Lanka, which is currently in a precarious position, is seeking a bailout from the International Monetary Fund, but securing such funding may be easier said than done. Sri Lanka's government is currently living mainly on credits from the Indian government. Analysts have speculated that failure to secure such funding may place the country in a more precarious position and make life much more difficult for the people living in Sri Lanka. What then could be the way forward for the country?